little late to the party again here. So I don't know if you've played the Order 1886. You should have. So the Order 1886 was this big exclusive everyone was really excited for. The games that people get really excited for tend to be the most disappointing. It's like, Batman's gonna be awesome, don't worry about Batman, but I'm looking at Witcher 3, I'm looking at The Order, I'm looking at Evolve, I'm looking at Battlefield Hardline, I'm looking at Watch Dogs, looking at Destiny. But whenever a new IP gets an absurd amount of hype, don't believe it. I mean, sure, get the game, it might be good, but it will not be as good as everyone says. It almost never is. Point in case, The Order 1886. This game is really bad. So this game sucks, and it's an exclusive for PS4. It's trying to be Gears. In fact, I think if they had tried to stay more straight up a third-person action shooter, this game might have been better. This game, first off, is gorgeous. It's very pretty. Probably some of the best graphics on PS4, if not the best graphics on PS4. Look at his hair. It's amazing. Look at these close-ups of these facial animations during the cutscenes.
The knights in question may have done the enemy a great service.
The Lord Chancellor perhaps speaks too harshly. He would do well to remember that Sir Percival's force did uncover evidence of a rebel effort against the...
Circumstantial evidence. Mere supposition, all of which resulted in a deplorable calamity. I will hear no more of the matter.
With respect, Lord Chancellor.
Sit down, Sir Galahad!
With respect! I too have lost a friend. More than a friend. A brother. You do great wrong to sully his name in such a manner.
I mean, the world design itself is pretty boring. You're going through slums and city streets, and you're on a Zeppelin at one point. It's pretty standard, late 1800s world design. I really like Gallivant's armor, though, how he looks when he's walking around. That looks sweet. So sure, this game is really short. It's like 5 or 6 hours. That wouldn't bother me if it was a real good 5 or 6 hours, or even a really fully packed 5 or 6 hours. It's like, this game moves at a snail's pace, and it still barely hit 6 hours. There is no content here at all. So you get your really clunky walking, and oftentimes it doesn't even let you sprint, like from location to location, because it's either loading or it's about to start a cutscene, and it's ridiculous. It hands you things that you have to look at for 4 or 5 seconds before it gives you the triangle prompt to be able to move on. It lets you turn over all these notes even though there's almost never anything on the back. I gotta say though, that ink, see how the light's shining off the ink? It's a pretty cool effect. Too bad. Doesn't matter at all. So apparently we knew this before going into the game, but I forgot about it and didn't find out like until halfway through. So apparently the Order is actually like a continuation of King Arthur's Knights of the Round Table. And that's actually really cool. That is a great idea. This is a great setup that they could use for another game, maybe. And they've all got really cool full beards, and they all speak funny. The guy in charge, Lord Chancellor, he had the fullest beard, and he had the coolest, like, lines. No one can escape the penalty! He says that, like, at least 3 times throughout the game. But I'm really just here to echo everything everyone else has said. Like, Angry Joe's review is pretty much spot on. So the shooting is very, very floaty. It's not at all precise. Walking around is clunky. Getting into cover and getting out of cover are 2 different buttons. It's like, for goodness sakes. You know when I got mad that Shadow of Mordor stole Batman's combat system? And I got mad because it did a worse version of it, and because it did nothing new with it. Like, if this game copy-pasted Gears of War's shooting mechanics, and then did their own whole world and story and everything, that would be fine. It steals a lot of the Gears of War shooting mechanics, but it doesn't do it well at all. Like, you got like the D-pad is your weapon select for grenades and everything, but getting in and out of cover is so difficult. And you are only shooting at people like a third of the game. It's all QTEs and just walking around. It is so boring. And the story itself is like, in this world, like, they got vampires and werewolves and all this, like, lore that could be really cool and interesting. Guess what the story focuses on? Some dincy poor people rebellion. Like, I don't want to shoot at people, I want to shoot at monsters. And when you are shooting at monsters, it's just like press X to evade. It's terrible. It's QTEs. QTEs are like the jump scares of video games. They're bad. They make you push buttons during a cutscene just to make sure you're still awake. It's awful. Sometimes it makes you play Mother Effing I Spy. Get this whole city's like, oh, Galavant, find this one small ant who's carrying a breadcrumb. And I'm like, are you kidding me? This game is so much just unnecessary padding in addition to its super short length. It's non-solid combat. It's wonky stealth. There's stealth missions that are terrible. It has you push the button, like, at the right time to stealth execute. Like, what difference does it make if I pull my knife a little bit longer ago if he's still facing the other way? There are really few weapons in this game too, and it only lets you have 2 at a time because there are so few weapons. There's like, you can have a handgun and a regular gun. That's it. The soundtrack's nice on occasion. It kind of echoes Bloodborne. There's some cello-y stuff and some choir stuff. And those are some of the better parts during the cutscenes. Like one of the one of the members of the order dies and they have like this fancy funeral. That was probably the best part of the game. Giving this speech. It's like, long live this guy who served us for 600 centuries.
From blood of old. The Grail will give new life to you, Marie Joseph Paul Yves Roch, Gilbert de Motier, Marquis de Lafayette.
And these order guys are also like complete dicks because they have this magical water that like cures grievous wounds, and they have a cop who's like bleeding out, and they just let him die, and they're like, oh, he's a goner. I'm just like, why don't you give him some of your magic water, you dicks? Or if they had to explain that, like, we've only got so much of this water, and if you start drinking it, you have to, like, keep drinking it, or then you have to become a member of the Order, and you start living hundreds of years. One line of explanation was all it would have taken. In terms of nudity, there's unnecessary balls, like, 3 times. But then there's this other part where, like, you should see a guy's balls, but you don't. It's, like, untextured crotch area. I'm like, alright, whatever. And of course, they find a reason to go to a brothel. The main character gets in trouble with his order because he's, like, doing stuff he shouldn't. But it's like, and they're like trying to arrest and execute him. It's like, dude, just tell him the thing that happened. I don't know why I'm avoiding spoilers. It doesn't even matter. I want to spoil it so you have no reason to play the game. But it's like, why don't you just tell them what happened? And Angry Joe said this exact same thing. It's like, he's trying to get executed, I swear! He's also got this relationship with Izzy. So apparently they're dating, but their dialogue is super cheesy and awful.
Everything to your liking thus far?
Quite. Just another ordinary London morning.
Indeed.
And it's only brought up like once, and then completely dropped until he mentions that he wants to marry her. It's like they did not feel a connection between them all, but again, that is just a cherry on the pile of poo that this game was. Now, the main problem I have with the reviews of these games is like everyone had the same problems with it. So that doesn't make this a mediocre, okay, run-of-the-mill game. That makes this a terrible game. People are giving it a 6 when they should be giving it like a 1. It's like game reviewers are just overly nice to everything. That's why you got me. So I'm trying to figure out a rating. I'm like, alright, is it worth playing? No. So then I take it to a 1, and then I add a point for every good part there is in the game. Alright, so there's some pretty graphics, too. Shooting's bad, everything's bad, bad, nothing. The order thing was kind of cool. The Chancellor guy, he was cool. Some of the cutscenes are funny. Alright, so it can have a 3. Like, just barely. It just makes me bad for crapping on Shadow of Mordor for so much, because at least that had, like, functioning combat if it did nothing with it. So guys, I gotta say, The Order 1886 is worth a 3. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm Wesley Tomsky, and come back and join me in my crusade against just stupid game design, because with God on our side, we shall prevail.